We're going to create some text on a background, so we're going to put a block of colour and then put some text over it. So I'll go down to the shape tool in the tools panel, and first of all I'll just get the rounded rectangle tool and drag out a shape on my page. Up at the top it's got the fill color, so I could change it for another color of my choice. I'll maybe go for, say, a black. Now once I've got that, I can certainly customize it. If you also look at the top and the options of shape, I can put a stroke on there. So say for example I'll put a red stroke around the edge, or in this case a little purpley stroke. I can also increase how big the stroke is around there to bring it out. Then in the tools panel down at the right, I can see it says the rounded rectangle. I double click on the name and I just call it box, so it's more meaningful to me. Going to get some text next, so I click on my text tool. Go up to the color in the options, and I'm going to make it white. Click there. I'll click on my document away from the actual shape so it doesn't interfere with it, and I'm going to type in my word. Probably won't really see it because it's in white. Type in the word hello. I get the move tool. I bring it down, and then again with the move tool I can scale it, move it, and put it in the center of the box. There we go. And again I'm going to press enter to carry that out. Now you can find out the center of the box if I click on the box, and you can see the little guides at the top and bottom. I can then go to the view menu and I can say show rulers, and I can drag out guides that are on the center horizontally and vertically, and that gives me an idea of where the text is. So again I can move the text box and place it there. Then I can click on the shape and amend the shape to suit the text so it fills it. So ideally, if you are going to create a box in the background and then put your text on top as two separate layers. If you're going to use this, say, in a website and you want to save it and have it on a transparent background, if you see the background layer in the layers panel on the right, I will just double click on that. I will drag that to the bin and get rid of it, and see it's got checkered background on your document, so that means it has transparency, and then I can sort of crop it tightly around the edge, and that can be then saved as a PNG or a GIF and used as a transparent component for either further laying it up in Photoshop or using it within a website. Right, we've got some text here and we're going to do a text warp. The text is selected. You need to make sure you get the text tool, and then you can click on the text. Now once you've got it, you can click anywhere on the text. You'll see up at the top in the options you've got a little T, and it has a sort of a curve underneath of it, and it says create warp text. I'll just move my panel down to one side, and you can change the text. So I can go for an arc, and it'll change it to an arc. You can change how much it distorts and pull it down. There's different ones. You can do it vertically to change how the text will perform. There's a bulge, and again you can amend those. So basically you move it around to get the text as you would like it. and pull it out. There's a twist as well. So it's a matter of playing around with these things to get different effects on the text. When I click OK, that text, even though it's been warped and amended, it's still editable as text, so I can change the colour of it, change the spelling, as you would do with ordinary text. At any point you can sort of select it with the text tool, go back to the text warp, click it and take it back to none, and then click OK to take it back from where it started, and then click the commit. The best approach if you're using more than one word in your design is make sure each of the words or lines of words are on separate text layers. I've got my text here saying hello, and maybe if I wanted to put another word on there, I would click the mouse away from it. It creates a new text layer over on the side. Then I would, type in another word. Click the commit button. Once I've done that, I will drag out some guides at the beginning and the end of the hello text at the top. Always a good idea to use guides and rulers for lining up blocks of text or other elements when you're doing design work. I'll just butt up my goodbye there, and then using the move tool, scale it so it goes between those two guides and make sure it's all sort of bang on before I press the commit. So I've got those two there. They're in two separate layers, if you can see it on the layers panel on the right. And then say I want to get another component on there, maybe a line going between those words. I will go to the shapes, and it has the line tool. And I can click the line tool and drag it out. Before I do that, I make sure in the shapes I need to get that to be black. There, you can have different types of line. I'm going to go for a solid line. Over here it's got the weight, it's got 1 pixel. I'll just make that bigger and make it 10 pixels. Might be too much, but it'll give you an idea. Then I click and drag out straight along. Now when you're dragging out a line, you'll actually physically see how it's coming out and how straight it is. It'll have a little panel will appear on the top right there. And if I go off, it'll say the angle. Ideally you want to keep it at 0 and take it all the way along, and I've got 1 line that breaks that up. In my layers it says shape 1. If I change that and say call it line 1, now click on the line 1 layer, right mouse click it and click on duplicate. We'll call it line 2, and then we've got that line on the stage and it's pasted directly on top of our first line, and we can now just drag that down and place it underneath goodbye. So sometimes you might want to get other elements in the shapes or lines or background colors to enhance a logo or a block of text.